Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Who's ready for some fireworks? There is an XRP chart analyst who says that the price of XRP is about to hit 65 cents. And I'll tell you what, I know what I hate, and I don't hate that. That would be a good time. Maybe it would be time for a little happy dance action, perhaps. So we'll be talking a little bit about price in this particular video, including this piece titled Bitcoin Price Steady as $10 billion Asset Manager Scoops Up 10,000 Bitcoin. Indeed, another company purchasing Bitcoin, jumping into the world of cryptocurrency. I do want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not offering advice, so absolutely do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just your everyday Joe Schmo here, member of the XRP community who likes talking about this stuff and making YouTube videos as a hobby. That is all that it is. Now, before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, I would definitely appreciate the support, but don't get all smashy with it. Only dorks smash the like button. And you're a super cool kid, aren't you? I can tell, you're just giving off that vibe. And since I gave you that very fine compliment, why don't you return the favor by subscribing to the Moon Lambeau channel? It don't cost nothing, son. So who is this XRP chart analyst in question? It is none other than blockchain backer, and I'm sure that many of you that listen to me also listen to him. There's a fair bit of crossover amongst all sorts of XRP YouTubers out there, and I'm a fan of what this gentleman puts out. He seems to take a logical, measured approach to it all, doing his best clearly to keep emotion out of all this, which I'm a strong proponent for. Because like as much as I will never offer financial advice because that's just not my thing, and I would never want to have that type of responsibility for anybody. I will say, when you're making your decisions, it's, in my humble opinion, it is best to just leave the emotion out of it. Just use facts and figures, logic, all that jazz to make decisions in life, whether it's investing or pretty much anything, right? Usually best to not make important life decisions based purely on emotions. But he was talking just the other day about how he firmly believes, the blockchain backer believes, that we shall indeed be seeing 65-cent XRP very soon. I mean, it could be within the next couple of weeks for all we know, the way he was drawing it on his charts. And he does expect at that point you're going to see a pullback, probably to about 50 cents, but it'll then bounce back again. And my gosh, if that's the case, if we're really off to the races here again, it's going to be super exciting sooner than later, and I definitely would not hate that. Not one little baby boo bit here. And so, because I'll tell you, I mean, if this ends up being the case, once things really start moving up, I mean, I guess maybe we never see these prices for XRP again. I don't know. I don't want to be one of those dudes that just says that, because I've been hearing that, oh, you're never going to see these prices again for like 3 years, and then it just keeps being volatile, and it's been, 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. It's been jumping all around there the last couple years. And we even saw it as low as 11 cents. So, I mean, maybe it's reasonable to suspect that we won't see 11-cent XRP ever again, unless, of course, the stock market tanks, and then it'll probably just follow. Okay, maybe then. But other than that, I mean, I am Mr. XRP Bull for a reason. I think big picture is going to be going the direction that we're all going to want to see it go regardless here. Take a look at this piece now, though. A shout out to Poochie for tagging me along with some others in this. I do appreciate it, Poochie. Thank you very much, my friend. This comes from the Daily Huddle, and it is titled, After Pushing Ahead of XRP, Bloomberg predicts this crypto asset will surpass Ethereum in 2021. I'm sure many of you already know what they're talking about here, right? Oh, good old Tether. Oh, God, I love me some Tether. What is the market cap? I don't have it pulled up on the screen. I didn't look today, but I think it's around, is it like 14 or 15 billion? Am I mistaken? Whatever it is, it's higher than what XRP is at right now. And at the beginning of the year, the market cap for Tether was like 4 billion or somewhere thereabout. So just about quadrupled the amount of Tether in existence here. Ridiculous. And it's always worth the same price, so as long as you print more, you're just going to keep increasing the market cap. And I even said this. I know I said this within the last couple of months. I was like, don't be surprised if it starts creeping up on Ethereum and passes it eventually, because all they do is keep printing it. I made the point too. You could make Tether the #1 in terms of market cap if you just print enough. It'll just beat out Bitcoin. There you go. Because it's not about the speculative nature of the price. It's always $1. So just print a bunch and it can be whatever the hell you want it to be. Anyway, Bloomberg intelligence commodity strategist Mike McGlone says a relative crypto newcomer could surpass Ethereum as the second largest crypto asset by market capitalization in 2021. Now, of course, if we see some serious parabolic price action for the crypto asset class, maybe this doesn't happen, even if they continue to print this damn thing like crazy. I could certainly envision a world where XRP takes that number 3 spot back, and maybe even number 2, maybe even number 1. I'm not ruling anything out here. But Tether, or USDT for short, overtook XRP in 2020 to become the 3rd largest crypto by market cap, after Bitcoin and ETH. The dominant stablecoin has seen massive surges since the pandemic-related market crash in March, and it currently has a cap of, at the time of writing, anyway, $15.7 billion, according to CoinMarketCap. So in a new edition of the Bloomberg Crypto Outlook, Mike McGlone says he thinks that the ballooning market cap will only continue to increase. And here's a quote. The rapid rise in the market cap of stablecoins indicates that the central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs for short, are a matter of time in our view. It should take something significant to stall the increasing adoption of Tether, the top stablecoin, which is on pace to match the capitalization of Ethereum in a bit less than a year based on the regression trend since the start of 2019. And that's fascinating. I tell you what, if it really does take that spot, that's going to be freaking crazy. Which, again, it absolutely could. It's totally reasonable, but who knows? Maybe we'll have that parabolic run sooner than later, and then it's going to put it out of reach, but it certainly could happen. The piece continues. It's an ambitious prediction. Ethereum's market cap is currently hovering around $44 billion, almost 3 times the size of Tether's. McGlone notes that USDT represents what many of the so-called cryptocurrencies aren't, a stable form of payment. He also says assets are migrating from the still deflating crypto bubble of 2017 towards Tether. Additionally, the commodity strategist predicts Bitcoin is on track to breach key resistance at $14,000, and he says certain metrics indicate Bitcoin could hit $100,000 by 2025, which is interesting because a couple months ago, he was saying Bitcoin could hit $100,000 by 2030, and then he just cut it in half. But I will not be the least bit surprised if it hits $100,000 at some point, and won't be surprised if it happens much sooner than that. So many analysts are talking about this next parabolic move for Bitcoin, leading it up to like 80 to 100,000, 120,000. They keep seeing these big-ass numbers, and they're talking about the very next cycle, which, according to some analysts, we're basically on the cusp of it, right? And other analysts have also pointed to a link between Tether's growing market cap and Bitcoin price increasing. A highly cited pseudonymous analyst, known in the industry as FilbFilb, says that USDT's $10.9 billion rise this year suggests traders are storing their capital in the dollar-pegged stablecoin as they prepare to buy Bitcoin. Now take a look at this. Bitcoin price steady as $10 billion asset manager scoops up 10,000 Bitcoin. And this is a theme that is just continuing. I love seeing this. I know it's about Bitcoin and it's an XRP-centric channel, but this, ultimately, I think this type of activity will flow through to XRP. It's just a matter of time. And really, I want Bitcoin to do well. I don't know if it will forever, but I would prefer that because the market just moves in tandem. So if Bitcoin ever permanently tanks, which I'm not predicting, if that ever actually happens, the whole market's going to be obliterated in the short term. Eventually, and that would create, in my opinion, a tremendous buying opportunity, and I'm sure it'd scoop stuff up. But I don't think we're going to see that. And so it's more like, for me, the way I'm looking at this is I want Bitcoin to do well. It is doing well. It continues to be adopted by businesses, publicly traded companies, no less. And I think you're ultimately going to see that trend continue with XRP. And so Bitcoin is winning the battle of the safe havens as another corporate buy-in sees $115 million enter its books. Asset management giant Stone Ridge confirmed that it made the significant purchase via its spin-off New York Digital Investment Group, or NYDIG, which now has over $1 billion in assets under management. Yeah. I mean, that's more than dipping your toe in the water, right? I understand. So 115 million out of 1 billion. Okay, not a big percentage, but my God, in terms of dollars, it's something, right? And so the macro backdrop against the public health backdrop has caused a lot of people to rethink their portfolio composition. The company's new CEO, Robert Gutman, told Forbes on October 13th. Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, which purchased $425 million of Bitcoin in August and September, responded as follows. Here's a quote. As the trillions of dollars on the balance sheets of banks, asset managers, insurance firms, endowments, and family offices begin their migration to the Bitcoin universe, they will need firms like NYDIG to guide them. $1 billion down, more to go. And so, look, I'm telling you guys, it's my humble opinion, this is just the beginning of this trend. And even if they're buying over the counter, like I keep saying, even if it's not going to immediately impact the price, it still ultimately will impact supply and demand, because the Bitcoin's being held somewhere, my friend. So even if it's not traded on spot exchanges and so it's not causing an immediate reaction, so what? That's Bitcoin that somebody else can't purchase in the future because somebody else already has it. Supply and demand. It's going to do what it does, right? And so the news comes as a new report warns that the United States Federal Reserve will need to print $5 trillion next year. And so whether or not this is going to result in some sort of a calamity economically, in terms of whether you buy into hyperinflation, which I don't necessarily, I mean, maybe it's technically possible. Probably not anytime soon. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I've talked about it before, though. Even if inflation increases to some degree, though, it's really more so like this is a catalyst. What's happening with this pandemic, obviously, and the response the government had, because whether or not you view it as a call to action, there certainly is this perception that, hey, something bad could happen, and it is affecting the way that people are diversifying and investing in general, and a lot more money, I think, has been flowing into crypto. I think that there's cases to be made for that. And in fact, these are the most obvious ones. Like MicroStrategy, the CEO, Mike Saylor, he made it very clear this is what got them thinking along these lines, right? And they just had a ton of money on their balance sheet. They needed to do something with it because inflation was just eating it away, right? So interesting stuff. And I do think ultimately, like I said, I think it's going to ultimately come for XRP. It would be weird to me if the only cryptocurrency that businesses and publicly traded companies specifically end up purchasing is Bitcoin. I mean, like, do we really believe that's going to be the case? Especially as XRP continues to be adopted. If you know businesses need it to conduct their business models, might you think if you want to diversify into crypto that it would be a reasonable investment? Well, that's the way I look at it anyway. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!